Hey NailTubers, what is up Nailification Squad? So I just got this package in, and what this is a new set of practice hands, because I had that, well actually I've had two sets so far. I had Yoko, which was the sturdier one, like the more hard silicone one, and then I got Miko. And remember I was saying that Miko was a softer silicone, and Miko was the one with the softer, lighter weight cuticle area. So I wanted to try the new improved version, and so I got this box today. But you know what? This box seems a bit small. I'm wondering, are there actually two practice hands in here, or I'm not sure. So let's open it. I'm gonna open it right here and right now. I'm really excited. Unfortunately, some of these practice hands are one of those things that you kind of have to go through trial and error with. Even if you do see reviews on YouTube or whatever. Because I actually liked my first one, the one that was like the harder silicone. The only thing about that particular hand, Yoko, was she didn't have like the slide-in slots for the nail tips. So let me take that off. Hopefully there's two in here, guys. Hopefully. Now how does this go? Okay, so here we go. Oh, and it's pink, the pink to match my Hooked on Love Makartt press-ons. That looks cute together, doesn't it? And I'm still wearing them, and it's been it has been what, 2 weeks exactly as of tomorrow or the next day. So oh, okay, that's a nice box. So here are some, ooh, look at these long nail tips. I've never had them like this. Ooh. So there's a bag of nail tips, and something just fell down in there. So there's another bag, size 8. Let me bring this other one back. Size 10. I just dropped that one. Hopefully there's two, because I asked about it. Oh, it does feel like two. So now let me move this cute, adorable pink box out of the way. Ah. So as I unravel this, it's wrapped in there pretty tight. I wanted to give you guys an update on the Makartt Hooked on Love set that I did. And that was recorded back like on, I want to say, February the 9th or 10th, and then it was posted like a day or two after. And I said that I would do a wear test, also because someone asked me how long the glue lasted. So here has been 2 weeks exactly, and plus maybe about a day or two, and I think it has done fairly well. As you guys know, in a recent video I showed where I lost a couple of the embellishments because I was reaching into like a luggage case. And then this happened a day ago. And this happened when I was, ladies, we know, right? When we're pulling up our pants. So I was pulling up my pants, and I guess because the length of that middle nail is longer, and then the thumb is usually inside the pants by itself, the pressure from it. So I think that doing this after a 2 week and a couple day wear is fairly, not fairly, but I think it's actually very well. So those came off, and it caused no damage, as you could see. And what you're seeing here is not damage. That is a bit of residue from the glue. Now here's my problem. I haven't been able to do some types of videos because I have these on. And so, well, I can, but like for example, there's a PolyGel video with dual forms that has been requested that I've had to put off, and just a couple of other things. So I think what I'm gonna do is, now that it has been the 2 weeks, and like I said, a day or two, and these, let me show you, These are still wearing very well. Excuse my hands, but I just wanted to show you guys. And these, let me show you, there's still good resistance in there. And these haven't lifted at all. So this is your update. What I am going to be doing is I'm going to go ahead and take these off, and it won't be done on camera because I still have these on. And then the removal process, how I remove them, I'll do a video on that. And look at my little teddy bear. He's still hanging on there, guys. Listen to my voice. He's still hanging on. He's so cute. Yeah, guys, I'm going to take these 3 off. And it's funny. Here's the odd part to me. It's the non-dominant hand that was falling off. I would have expected the right hand, which is my dominant hand, because I know there's left-hand people out there. My brother's left-handed. I would have expected these to be loosening much quicker than those, but for some reason, I don't know, they did. But so yeah, okay, so expect that video to be coming soon. I just wanted to give you guys an update. Okay guys, before I get back into the practice hand, I just needed to come back and show you this real quick, that I did remove the 3 nails and there's been absolutely no damage. And the reason why I was needing to do this is because I wanted to make sure that you saw it in chronological order, because otherwise you would see me go from having the nails on both hands to not having any on this hand at all. And the way it happened was I did the set, and then eventually time down the road the hands came in, and so this was recorded in about 3 different sessions or clips, or however you want to call it. So I wanted to make sure I came and showed you that before I continued on. So this pamphlet came with the hand. You may have seen it in the box as I was doing the opening, and it's from a company called The Nail Artist. And there was a representative that was reaching out asking if anyone wanted to try their practice hand. It is a different company from my previous purchase. However, this company also had the similar, like, improved cuticle area, which was one of the things about my previous practice hand. I like that hand very much, but the cuticles were thin, so I had been wanting to try a set of hands with the better cuticles. So this is the pamphlet. Here's your product description and other information inside. Now, what caught my attention about this pamphlet is this phrase right here. I'll bring it up closer. Hopefully it'll start focusing it, but I'll read it to you and hopefully it'll start focusing while it's doing that. This is something that I didn't see with the other set that I have. It says, in the case that any dents or scratches occurred due to long time extrusion, place the body meaning the hand, silicone hand, in hot water for some time, and then dents or scratches will disappear gradually. One day down the road, at some point, we're going to give that a try after I use it sometime and see what happens. Interesting, right? Okay, so that's the pamphlet. Also, I wanted to point out, reaching for these, I also wanted to point out, remember I showed you in the opening that these tips came with it, and I wanted to make sure that I brought your attention to the size numbers on the bag. Well, that's not necessarily the size of the tips. I opened them and I checked them, and the tips are all different sizes in there. So I just think these were bags that they just used to package the tips. The pamphlet did say that there were 20 tips that came with the practice hands. So just know that the tips are not all the same size. It does go from the larger sizes to the much smaller, like if I bring it closer, you can see a smaller one inside there. So yeah, they're not all the same size. So then comes the practice hand, and I wanted to show you this as well. They came, it was wrapped, and then they were nicely snugly packaged inside this storage bag, which I think is really nice. So that's what the wrapping was around, this storage bag, and I'm going to be saving this. It'll come to good use. if I decide to go somewhere and take my stuff with me. And here is the practice hands. Now, first thing noticeable should be the size, not the size of the hand itself, but the design of the hand. Remember, I was like, is there two hands inside this box? Well, I see why now. So the other hands were all the way to the wrist, and these are like half that point. So that was the reason why the box was so small. And I was wondering if, if it was a pair in there, because my preference is to get a pair. One stays at home, and if I'm on the go, I might take the other one with me. I do have a carry around bag, so yeah, a pair of hands. Right off the top, the very first thing that I do notice is the construction of the hand is from a different mold than my previous purchase. Nothing negative about it. I'm just noticing that it's a totally different hand structure. It does have a little bit of weight to it, but you know what? Not too much to a point where it's overwhelming. And I imagine it's not too much weight because of the fact that it is a more cut off version. It's just enough weight. Let me put it to you this way. As someone who has done personal services before, it is really just about enough weight for you to get the feel of having a real hand and doing a service. So that part of it is good. I do like the fact that the silicone is slightly more firmer, and also the construction inside, the bendable parts, feels a bit more firmer as well. The hand looks realistic enough too, right? You can see some details in the knuckle area right here. Even on the interior of the hand, you see the details in there. Now let's talk about the cuticles and the nail bed. So just visually, you can look at it and tell that the cuticle area is much thicker. The nail beds on this hand is slightly larger. And let me explain why. Because on the other hand, the sidewall area kind of wrapped in and over, which gave you a more narrow nail bed. So this one is a little more open out than the other hand, almost like it's more of a natural nail bed. So let's compare it to, so see, like our natural sidewalls don't wrap around into the nail bed like that. So that's really nice too. I do like that. One of the things that I was concerned about was the insert area of the cuticle too for the nail tips. So I took some nail tips that I already have prepped for the other hand, and see the line where the tip is attached to where the base nail is supposed to be. That is how far in other words, that the tip would go. So I wanted to check and see if even the insert area was different. And so I found out it goes in much deeper and it feels a lot more secure, which is really nice. So on the other hand, I'm going to bring it closer so you could see. So you see where it's blended? That, on the other hand, would typically be more like right here on the other hand. And even here on this hand, it feels like it's in there pretty good. But it's deeper, so it goes in further. Can you see that? It goes in actually above on top of the nail bed, as opposed to extended out, as opposed to out here. So that tells me that the insert area is even deeper, which will hold the nail tip in a lot more securely. And it feels firm. Look, I can do all of this and it's not falling out. Even though, it is still a more pliable silicone, it's still in there, nice and secure. So that's pretty good too. And also, just because it's a cutoff hand, it does kind of give an impression that it's a small hand, but it's not. I laid it on top of my own hand and it's just about the same size as my own real life hand, guys. Oh, and a couple of more things that I wanted to bring to your attention. So you know how we get these practice hands and then there's that thought or desire that you need a mount or a bracket for it. Well, this hand, of course, this part being the heavier part where all the weight is, and since it has that straight edge cut, all you have to do really is just stand it and you can really still work with it without a mount or a bracket. Look at that, guys. And you just position the fingers the way you need it, and then from there you can put your tips in. These aren't necessarily going to be the exact ones for the exact finger, so I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. And then you just insert your tips, and you know, you can spread the fingers out a little more if you need, and you just insert the tips, and then you're good to go. You are ready to work, sister. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? So yeah, you can even work on this without a mount if you don't have one. It didn't come with a mount. And the other thing is, this is not the color that I would have typically chosen. I wanted a different color. We all have a preference to order to match our personal skin tone. But let me point this out to you. If you are someone who is learning, if you are someone who is planning on getting out there and doing actual services, you need to become accustomed to working on varying skin tones. It would be good if you're able to get hands in a couple of or even a few different skin tones and shades. These, I believe, came in maybe 5 or 6 different skin tones. This was one of 3 that was available at the time that I got it, and I'm okay with the skin tone because of what I'm saying right now. So you really should consider getting different skin tones, because let me tell you, when you're doing a personal service, and we all like to think that we're good at what we're doing, we want to strive for perfection, and I get all of that. All that's good. But there will be times that you're going to get some color of the product, whether it's nail polish, some type of a gel, acrylic, or whatever on the skin. And depending on the skin tone, it's going to be difficult to remove. It's going to act like a dye and stay there. So you need to get accustomed to working on different skin tones as well. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention too, guys. Okay, something to consider. So yeah, guys, working on different skin tones is only going to make you a much better nail technician. Again, like I said, if you are planning on getting out there and doing real live services, what it's going to do is it's going to help build your confidence, and it's also going to help you with accuracy and knowing how much product to use, and also product placement, so that you don't end up causing any especially highly pigmented products to stain the skin. So just consider that. Just a piece of advice from me. So guys, if you are considering this practice hand, I ended up liking it. The company is called The Nail Artist. The representative that I was communicating with was totally awesome. If you're considering purchasing this hand, it does come with a discount code, which will be in my description box. Now, the discount code will be valid through to March the 5th. So if you're considering it, you may want to check it out as soon as you can. I am not certain, so I don't want to misquote how much the discount is. I'm actually waiting right now for her to get back to me. And when she does, I'll input it into the description box. So if you need to, just return to the information and it'll be in there for you. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope all of this was helpful information to you, and if you did find it helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you enjoyed today's video, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because I have so much more to come. And I know I didn't mention it in the beginning. I post regularly on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and also offer random content just like this on other days during the week. Actually, this week has been a very busy week for me. So yeah, subscribe to my channel, and when you do, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you again soon. Much love.